Today's session we will go deeper into the 15-minute candle, and we also will cover how we can add into an ongoing position, but only based on the 15-minute candle itself. That means you're already, for example, in a long position, and how can you add in to put more actually. For example, the way I do that always with 10 contracts. I'm in with 10 contracts in NASDAQ 100. Then I see a certain position there, a certain zone of interest, call it, and I see, yes, that could be also an opportunity to add in. That's something that we would talk about, especially on today's market. We will focus a lot on Asian session. But let's start with Tuesday. We talk about Tuesday. We got it covered here actually. And again, here we talk about it. Let's say we would only stay in the 15-minute candle, not in the 5-minute as we see it here. If I look at the 15-minute candle here and I say, okay, that could be something for me to go in. I see I had a downtrend all the way here. Okay, right. And after that, it is sometimes dangerous if the first candle turned from bearish to bullish, or it could be the opposite from bullish to bearish, to say, okay, from here maybe it's coming the return point. So I need a strong signal here. If I reach a certain area of interest and I see I have, for example, something like a 2 equal candles next to each other but opposite, the opening of that is the closing of the other one, and the closing of that is the opening of the next upcoming candle here. So that would be something strong to me. Say, yes, the trend is ending here. Now I reached the returning point here. What I like more is, for example, to see that the wick of the second candle is deeper than the first one. So I like to see a liquidity sweep from that side. But it's also okay if I have something like this to say, yes, I had a liquidity sweep here. After that, nothing was here, so it was no longer necessary to go deeper. That was the reason why the wick of the second candle is much smaller than the first one. If we look to the to that area here, and let me get rid of my gum. If I see something like that, what I would do, if you look here, the candles are big. When it started here, I had actually a strong movement here. It was really strong. And I'm not seeing smaller candle here, I'm seeing bigger candle here. And also the wicks are not that much small. When it comes to something like that, at least the bare minimum is I put my limit order here in the middle of the body. Could be here, that one here. Okay, here for example, my stop loss right below, for example, the closing. That's the max for me. $40 is the maximum. Sometimes even like that, $8 or $10 above that, that's okay. It's the maximum for me. And if I was looking for a target here, do you remember here? I say, hey, I see if I haven't crossed candle here. The first time it will come, touch the wick of it, and will get rejected. The second time it will come to the body itself. So, and even if I'm looking here, yes, it turns something used to be here. No, it's up to you to say, okay, I will use the wick as my target, or to say I use the body, or if you can not make the decision where you can put it, the first one or the second one, what does Parsa do? What does Parsa like to do if you cannot make a decision between 2 points? What is the Parsa like to do? In the middle, exactly, Hari. I do that in the middle, would be in the middle of the wick here. The wick to the downside here. That could have been, again, see, a smooth trade here. Any question here? Again, guys, I cannot stress that enough. Please, if you like to trade like that way, to stick to the 15-minute candle pattern actually, do not try to go to the 5 minutes yet. That's the reason most of the time I'm sticking here. I have both 15 a minute here. One is zoom out, one is zoom in. The reason why sometimes I dive in here, the only reason is if I reach a certain area of interest. There are actually two reasons why I do that. First one, I have, for example, a breakthrough like that, and by retesting of it, I'm trying to catch that one here. That's the first reason here. The next one, there are only two reasons to dive for me into the 5 minutes here. First of all, again, if I have a breakthrough, it could happen after that maybe, or it can take some time, for example, hours, weeks, or days even. After some hours, it's coming back here. Now I'm diving maybe in to see, can I see something here? Is there something that I can use into my advantage here? Okay, that would be the only reason. Another reason, if you have something like the downtrend here, it's like a waterfall. It's going all the way down, or the opposite, all the way up. Instead of trying to catch the returning point, as I did, for example, here, most of the time, I'm trying to catch the end of the pullback. That's the reason I go to the 5 minutes to see, can I see something here, for example? Okay, maybe to see, okay, it started here. That was the pullback here to say. Okay, that was the pullback, and then here I have the 3 candle pattern here. The only thing that I don't like here, when you have a consolidation here, is what Avi is talking about. You don't have much room to the left side. If I look at that candle here, I see I don't have here much room, but on the other hand side, there is a lot of rooms here. That would be for me to reason to say, okay, it's going all the way down here. For example, I have something like this, for example, it's going down. Okay, I'm trying to catch, for example, in the pullback again, instead of trying to trade against the trend, be with the trend actually. And for that, that's the only reason to say for me, okay, I'm diving in. I see, okay, it's not that much clean, but again, it's a 3 candle pattern here, and I see the rejection here nearby that. Maybe I could put my limit order here. Okay, could I have put my limit order here? My stop loss could be, I don't know, somewhere here, whatever. I have no wick here, so I have to go with the maximum here, $400 here, for example. So, and my target, it's gonna be, for example, I don't know if I zoom out here, do I have something here? Maybe to say, yes, I have something here. I see I have lots of bottom here. Maybe to say, okay, I put my stop loss near the bottoms here. I see there was something here nearby here to put it here. Again, risking $400 to make almost 3K here. That could have been something. The only reason, again, it's totally up to you. What would you like to do? 1 minute, 30 minutes, whatever you want to use, indicator, whatever. But if someone comes to me and asks me, hey, Parsa, I like to do it maybe the way you're doing it. What's the thing that you do? I only stick to the 15 minutes here. The only reason is, two reasons again. If I have a breakthrough, or after the breakthrough, I'm sorry, if going for the retest, for example, could happen something like that after that, right away. Or if it's coming all the way down here to see in the 5 minute, can I have, I don't know, a third of pattern with 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, whatever, that shows me the exact exhausting of the pullback itself, so it will continue with the trend itself. That would be the only reason for me here. So the next thing that we could have done here, again, was it, that's, sorry, yes. Again, here in the 15 minute itself, yes, someone could say, hey, I see a 3 candle pattern here, but look here, you don't have much room here. The only reason for me would be, for example, to look how some candle would close here, show me with the wick exhaustion, or put at least a limit order above that. Because I see that coming, it's going up, 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 and that could be something that closing nearby here. That's not the 3 candle pattern. I like the 3 candle pattern that I like to see. It's to reach a certain high, to break or nearby a resistance or a support level, or could be break through that, or could be a double top or double bottom. Is even perfect. You get it in double, that's perfect to say. But something like this, I don't feel comfortable. And as you see, you got a lot of things here. So you're speculating here because you don't have much room here. And as you see here, it's going up. I would rather, if I see, hey, the 5 minutes here. I was hoping maybe to find something here in the 5 minutes here. Since I don't see anything here, that would be any reason for me to stick here in the 5 minutes. It's really choppy. Instead of that, I would focus on the 15 minute here. Okay, let me ask you that, guys. What do you see here? What do you see here? And that's the magic. And by the way, I'm fighting with myself a bit here. I'm trying maybe to move away even for the 5 minutes here. Yes, that means sometimes I don't find any opportunity like the one that I showed you here. I could only catch that in the 5 minute. In the 15 minute, it wouldn't be possible. But instead of that, maybe I'm fighting with myself actually a bit, because I don't want to use the 5 minutes anymore. But on the other hand side, you can see even in the 5 minutes, let's say here you missed that opportunity here in the 15 minutes. You can say, I know the 5 minutes is, but I see here, hey, I have in the 5 minutes a double bottom here. And in the double bottom here, I have the 3 candle pattern here, and it's a strong one actually. I see the second bottom is higher than the first one, which I personally like. The second top I like to see most of the time a bit lower than the first one. And when it comes to the bottom itself, I like to see that the second one is that's the only reason why I stick sometimes to the 5 minute, to say, for example, hey, I missed that opportunity, but I see the wicks here. Maybe in the 5 minute, it's giving me something here with the candle here again. But that would be the only reason most of the time I like to stay in the 15 minute here. Long story short, that's the reason why I'm thinking always even to move away from the 5 minute and just stick to the 15 minute here. Yes, you don't get that much opportunity. Instead of, I don't know, trading with 5 trades, you have only 2 trades, but that's going to be fine for you because it will probably hit your target, or hopefully, if you're doing it right and you only trade when there is a setup there. It doesn't matter which strategy you have, you need the setup there, and if you have it there, then go for the trade. But let's back here. Again, in the 5 minute, we see it's choppy. I cannot make any decision yet. Couple candle needs to get here, then a short that comes here, and it's in a range. But when you look here into the 15 minute here, what do you guys see here? What do you think see here? It's almost the thing that we like to see, but it's almost. It is, but I'm still willing to take that one here. What do you think do you see here? Any idea here? What do you see here? I see here almost the 3 candle pattern here. The high of that is higher than the first one, and the body is closing below the wick of the second candle here. The reason why I cannot call that a 3 candle pattern here, because I need for that one to have at least a small wick, but that one doesn't have any wicks. Do you get me here? That one doesn't have any wick here. So if I don't have a shadow here, so there is no liquidity sweep here. But the thing that I can say maybe to myself, and that is outside the rules. I'm now thinking outside the box. It's not a bad thing, but it comes to setup, you should stay conservative as much as possible. I can say about the previous one did have a wick, and the wick here is higher than that one here. So I have some sort of liquidity sweep here. And the next thing is that one is not only closing here, it's closing below the wick of the first and the second candle of the 3 candle pattern thing that we have. And by the way, if I look just on the body, after that closing price, you see it closes here. It tried for many times with the wicks, as we see here, tried to close below that price level here, but it could not. Whatever reason, it was resisting to close below that price level here. So I say it took, after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 2 hours to close that one here. And again, I see almost that one is not only the 3 candle pattern, almost the 3 candle pattern here. It is closing much below both wicks here, and I also see it is engulfing some of those previous candles here. So I see a strong, and after that I see I have much of rooms here, because the candles that you see here, they went straight up. And if I come here, Again, it's up to you to say I come with the closing price. Since I see a certain area, sometimes I'm like that. If I come with the closing price, maybe the shadow is going to be long and hit my stop loss, or if I do it right below the wicks, maybe the thing that I do between both price levels. If I see, okay, if I do it just with my eyes, just to say, okay, I will put it just here. And if I have it, oh, I'm sorry, wrong direction here, my apologies. When I go long and my stop loss goes somewhere here, or I can put it actually here. And from here you can use the wicks, but was something that I would personally use, it was some of the wicks here or the closing price here. So here I could say after that it resisted for sometimes to close above those wicks actually. Or you can put actually, or you can use again the cross candle. The hammer here looks like a cross candle here. But that would be something for me to say, okay, that's something, because they tried, and even that one slightly closed above it, and then we had something here, and that could have been, yeah, again, 1 to 6 trade, a plus 6 hour trade. Do you get me here, guys? Hopefully, yes. And again, I'm trying to move away because usually I do not like. Yes, you're right, maybe to say, hey, Parsa, you would have maybe missed out if you don't get that opportunity, but you would have missed out on that one. But believe me, it happens a couple of times to me. I burnt myself because of the 5 minutes here. That was a couple of weeks ago. A good friend of mine, and he said, hey, Parsa, can I say something to you? I hope you will not get mad. I said, no, not at all. You can say whatever you like. And he was like, didn't you tell me it's the magic of the 15-minute candles? I said, yes. Then why are you sticking to the 5 minutes candle? I said, what are you talking? They say, you're next to me, you're looking just on the 5 minute chart. And I was like, hey, thank you very much. In that case, yet it was playing into my favor here. But believe me, a couple of times it happens. I don't know, for some reasons, because I couldn't find here something, and I stick to the 5 minutes because I was trying to find something here, and I burnt myself there. So that's a reason I would not encourage to stay that much into the 5 minute. And even that one was a lucky shot, because actually there is nothing here. The only reason to look here, maybe to see, hey, that one is turning to that's the first one is somehow turning. And again, you have to wait for the closing candles here. For example, the candle here, we talked about it 2 days ago. The one that started went all the way up. You were thinking, yes, that's going to be a really strong bullish candle. After that, it turned all the way down. It was coming down. I said, no, it's turning to a bearish candle. Neither of that. It came to exactly doji, a big doji, an undecision candle here. So only with the closing price, after seeing that one, and I can say, okay, that one is trying to build here, and somehow I see it's almost green for a couple minutes. Maybe I'm willing then to dive here to see, can I see some, I don't know, 2 candle, 3 candle, or 1 candle pattern that shows me the returning point here. Maybe I'd like to see the 3 candle pattern here. That would be the only reason. But to say for that one, maybe to look, maybe to say, okay, if there is a double bottom here, maybe with the wick here to say double bottom, but please do not stick too much to the 5 minute candle if you like to trade that way in the 15 minute itself. Okay, that was for Tuesday. We talked about Tuesday, but we did not come to that part because our session was ending here. So now we will go to Thursday here. Let me go to Thursday here. If we look to Thursday here, I can say, okay, here, this area, it is resisting here. It is somehow resistant. First, it resisted to close. You see? After that closing price here, it tried with the wicks here to close below that closing price here. Somehow, it could not actually get rejected. And after we had a U-turn here, and we came back all the way here, and it could not again. It tried, but it was not able. So I can say in here, this area, I have something here. So now we dive into the, so that's the 15 minutes candle. Yes, here. If I come here to see, okay, somehow it is resisting here. If I see something like that, the left side is the 15 minute, right side is the 5 minute. Again, you see that from the time interval here. the 15 here, 5 here. Do not look here. That means which chart I'm clicked on, for example. But look more on the number here. So I'm now in the 15 minutes. So, it is somehow like here, it is resisting to close above that, and that's going to for some times here. Okay, that's going to be interesting here. But when it comes to that area, in the 15 minutes, I don't know. I don't see anything here. But if we go to the 5 minutes here, I can see, hey, I see the 3 candle pattern here. And why is this one an A++? I would like to know why this is an A++, double plus here. Why is that an A++ setup here that we have with the 3 candle pattern here? Or even you can say triple actually. Liquidity sweep of the liquidity sweep. Yes, the second candle needs to do a liquidity sweep of the first one, but even the third one did a liquidity sweep of the liquidity sweep itself. That's perfect actually. The third candle is closing above now. Something else is happening here also. What is happening here? An engulfing of the almost 2 previous candles. Yes, exactly here. You can call it almost for the both two, especially for that one. And do you remember if I told you if you're on a trend, especially on the 5-minute chart, okay, in the 5-minute chart, if you see a candle that looks like that one here, okay, and the opposite with the bearish one when you're on the downside, that's showing you it is a strong signal here. And if you look at that candle here, it is one of those, but in the 15-minute, no, in the 5-minute again. So if I have something like that, to say, you say, I don't see any wick here, and I don't see any wick here, and I got that all liquidity just with the closing price getting. With the closing price, I would get in. Okay, here near the last seconds here, I'm getting in with the closing price. My stop loss would be right below the closing price here, and I'm hoping the moment it reached the level here, because I don't know what's happening here, the first thing I do, I bring it to break even. And I say, hey, I have a small wick here. Perfect. I bring it below the wick here. That's it. So that means the moment it reached that area here, I would say, okay, that's it. That's it for me. When it reached it, why that area here? Again, I saw some sort of resistance here. Maybe it will turn around here. So it will come here, retest again, and then go all the way down. I don't know that. So since I'm 600, I bring it to a small loss. That's it. You will not change the small loss anymore. So the next thing, let's say someone missed out that opportunity here. Now you come to the 15-minute. Okay, where would have been my target here? If I would have put in target here, my target I would have put, if it would be for me, I say, hey, I see a cross candle here, the one that you see here, the body itself. So I would put my target right away here, or maybe to say after that closing price it took sometimes. But to be honest, I would have put that one here. That would have been easy compared to my first stop loss. Okay, if I go with that stop loss here, okay, that would have been, I don't know, 1 to 60 trade actually. If I go with that stop loss now, I turned a 1 to 6 trade. We started actually like here. Actually, again, we started somewhere here. It was a 1 to 6 trade, and that one I turned even without adding to a 1 to 60 trade actually. Okay, that's the thing. Do not bring it to break even here. So, but let's say someone missed out that opportunity here. If you look at the 15-minute here, I say, hey, I have a breakthrough here, okay, and I see the 3 candle pattern here. What I do, I put it right above those candles, my entry. My stop loss goes right below the candles that I have here, the smaller one, and the target is the same, somewhere here. So, but that one would have been maybe 1 to 4 trade. That's a difference. Okay, that would have been my first trade here. The next one that we could have done here, if I look to that one here, I could have said yes. The one here, I could have said yes, that's going to be a good trade for me. Okay, that could have been a good trade for me. Again, I reached that area of interest here, and by the way, that level here, I have actually relocated that. The first one I had it here the week, and now it is here. Actually, I put it because I thought, yes, for the beginning that one is more interesting here, but if I look here, it resisted to close below that one here. It resisted even here. It resisted the next one, actually broke through that price level here. That was the reason for me to relocate that after I saw what's happening here from here to here, actually. So let's say I see something like that. What do you see here, guys? What do you see here, guys? What do you see here? It's okay to open your mic. Yes, the 3 candle pattern here. And why is that an A++, guys? Do you have any idea why that one is an A++ setup here? Which is actually music to my ears.
Yeah, so it's a liquidity sweep of the liquidity sweep.
Yes.
Plus, it's also engulfing the two previous candles.
Perfect. Perfect. It is engulfing. This time it is exactly engulfing both. So this is even perfect. And it's and you see there is that one has no wick below, and there is no room here. With the closing price, I would jump in. With the closing price, I would jump in here. Usually for me, it's enough to say I put my stop loss here. Okay, I would just below that because I have a liquidity sweep of the liquidity sweep. Let's say, so that's the reason why I said there is nothing 100% here. You would have put it here, but that one would have stopped you up. But if I look to the left side here, I say, hey, I have lots of wicks here. Where can I put it? I say, hey, the wick here that produced the 3 candle pattern here, that showed me the last push here. So I would put it right above that one here. Okay, I would have put it right away. Again, usually I would put it here, but if I look to the 50 minutes, hey, if I put it there, it is not. I have to do that manually again. Okay, usually I would put it here. So yeah, it's enough. 300, it's okay. But if I look here, I had lots of things here, and I think it's better to put it above the wick here, the wick that got retested, the last push here. I say, you know what? I put it right away here, or even to use my full potential of $400. In that case, I wouldn't have got hit my stop loss. But again, usually you're right to say, hey, Parsa, you usually would have just put it a bit above the wick here. And you say, you're absolutely right. The only reason is because I look to the 15 minutes. Again, I like to look at the 15 minutes where I put my stop loss and where I put my TP, because it's called the magic of the 15-minute chart and not the 5-minute chart. The 5-minute chart is just to optimize it at certain points, something like here, for example. To say, okay, usually it's enough to put it above that wick here, but again, if I look to the left side, I say, hey, that wick here is also the same wick here, so I had something here, so it's better to put it above. Okay, $405, that would be $40, good, $40 for me, that's okay. So where could be my target? And this time, at least you know what you can do is to bring your target. At least what you can do is here. At least that's the minimum here, to say here, it's going to be my target. It is also okay to say, you know what, maybe it's going to be here. Maybe I was thinking, hey, to come here, and then it will go down. Or something that happened most of the time, I get in here, comes here, takes me out, and then will go down. So instead of what I always like to do is bring it to a small, bring it to a small stop loss. So for that, I'm using the 5-minute here to find some wick. Since I don't have here, I say, hey, below, above that wick here, maybe. That would have been enough for me, okay? That could have been my stop loss here. And in that case, again, it's totally up to you. And let's say someone missed out the candle pattern here from the the 5 minute here, if I look to the 15 minute here, I see, hey, I have again the 3 candle pattern. What do I see here? I see it's closing here. The wick is here. If I cannot make my decision again, I put that between those those points. Actually, I say, okay, that's going to be my, again here. Whenever you're ready, come on. Yes. My stop loss going to be, I put it above the closing price here. Maybe it wouldn't make any sense, or I can put it a bit above that. It's okay too. So the bare minimum would be again to come here. But here it's going to be the same. That's not going to be enough for me because I think there is much more room here to go. So truth to be told, I would not encourage to get out here. Especially when you had the first trade, you made already your money here, so you're willing to put the risk here. And I would have put the risk here to say, you know what? After I got in here the same, I would bring it, since I got in the 15 minute, to bring it here. In both cases, doesn't matter if you got in with the 5 minute, 15 minute, with the turnaround here, it would have stopped you out. That one would have stopped you out, but that's okay. And that's the beauty of it. I say, you see, sometimes happens if you bring it to break even or small loss, it will stop you out. But to stop me off with less than 100 bucks, 40 bucks, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, that's okay for me. But try to imagine how you would feel it will come here, come nearby your order, and you will see that happened today a couple times, and then we'll go all the way down. Let's say you will lose two times money, $40, $50, but the third time, as similar position like that one here, it will go down, come near your entry point, and then will go all the way down. And now it will give you the, I don't know, let's call it 2,500 here. You lost before 2 times $50, let's say 100 bucks. Now you made $2,500, 25 more. But if you would have put all 3 times your stop loss here with a small win, you would have exit the position with break even, so 0. But with that, what I told you, 2 times you lost $50, $100, but the third time it went to your target and you made 2,500 here. So that means if you subtract the $100 that you lost, you made 24 times more than the money that you lost here. And that's the magic of it, actually. And it's pretty simple here. Don't bring your stop loss to break even, rather to a small loss here. That makes sense to you, okay? And sometimes, yes, it's happened, it will stop you. Okay, let us see what we have here. After it stopped me out here, yes, truth to be told, I have seen that pattern a few times in the 5 minutes here, or even in the 15 minutes. It looks like a 3 candle pattern, but it's not a 3 candle pattern. It is actually good. The one here closes a bit above the wick here. You can say I would put the risk here, but again, this is the thing that I'm trying to tell you. That's the reason why I'm trying maybe myself to move away from the 5 minute here, because today it's working. Maybe on another day you have some other patterns here and you go with that and you will burn yourself. But again, if you see something like that, it's okay to say, you know what, I don't see it here, so I will not go with that here. But if you see here, and now we will talk deeply about those two. Let me bring it. What's the difference? You see that one here and that one here, okay? Why that one I would have entered the position just with the closing price here. Why that one here I would have entered the position with a pullback here. There are a couple reasons here. If we look here, the previous candle that got you all the way here, where actually you can call it somehow giant candle or bigger candle here, and with bigger candles we also had bigger wicks here, as you see, okay? That's the thing here. If you look the other way here, okay, you have smaller candle and the wicks are smaller here. Do you get my point here? That's the reason, for example, that alone would be enough for me to say, hey, That one, I see it, the giant candles here. I would not come with the closing price, rather to come with the limit order, and the limit order is somewhere between the mid of the body, or from up 3/4, or from the bottom 1/4 of the body, somewhere. That means from here to here I would put my limit order here. But the one that I'm seeing right here, if you see, I see the candles are smaller here. The wicks are smaller here. And something that I like to see here is, that I did not see here, I like to see that the second one, it is also okay to say the first one, the wick is longer than the second one here. That's totally okay. There is nothing wrong. That means I got everything here. But I like to see that the big players will do that with the second candle here. So that's the thing that I show. It's most of the time working into my favor here. So if I look here, I say, hey, those two candles here that I have here, they're next to each other here. And if I look here, hey, I have a liquidity. So with that one, I don't have a liquidity sweep here. I like to see the liquidity sweep with the last candle. So we are not talking about the 3 candle pattern. This is a 2 candle pattern that you had. They're twins actually, that I like. They are opposite to each other from the opening and the closing price. One is bearish and the other one. The one that I had here, that was the returning point from bearish to bullish pattern, and the one here was from bullish turning to a bearish pattern. I can say, yes, that looked like a double bottom to me here. Then and that one is lower than that one. Okay, I like it actually. I would love it actually, would be a bit higher than that, but again, a win is a win. We take that. And if you look close enough, again, those are not hammers, but those looks almost like to me like hammers. Yes, in hammers we like to be opposite. The wick should be bigger than the body, not the one here. If I look here, they look like two inverse hammers to each other. So if I look the one here, the wick here small, that one, okay, it's a bit bigger. The one here looks like a bigger hammer here for me, and the next one looks like an inverse one. That would give me the signal, hey, it's going down. And since I see, hey, I see here also with the returning point, the wicks are smaller, getting so not like the one that I had here, because I had a huge trend here. Somehow I had a huge trend here, and the candles were much bigger, the wick were much bigger. You get my point here. That was the reason to say I have to go with the pullback. But if I look here, and it is okay to say while I'm looking here, that means with, okay, let me, yes, I see, hey, when that one was closing, I see that one here. I say, hey, even in the 5 minutes here, I see, hey, the wick is getting smaller, smaller. That's enough for me to say, hey, you know what? I will go with the closing price here. I will go with the closing price here. Okay, what should be my stop loss? I put it above the closing price, and the wick here is, by the way, here, it's a good one here. Where could be a good target for me here? If I look down here, at least the bare minimum here would be here, because it resisted somehow to close below this price here, and after that it tried to reach that with the wick, was not possible here. That would have been the bare minimum for me, because I don't know, or if I'm or if you're willing to risk, you have to zoom out here maybe to go to the left side here, and if you see maybe a bit more down, I can go maybe to say, hey, I see here some wicks here, maybe I can put that here. But truth to be told, because of $300, I don't want to lose an opportunity. If there would be $1,300, that would be something that we could talk about. But if I have something like that, I would say, you know what, I will put the closing price, or max would be the wick here. That would be the max for me to say, okay, that's enough for me to put the risk here. Any question about that one here? Okay. What did happen here? Truth to be told, I missed out those trades here, but since I know myself and I know how I would have traded, and truth to be told, maybe some would say, hey, Parsa, that one would have been, believe me, sometimes happens to me even. I go to the 5 minutes, and I'm trying to find something here, and I burnt myself. I know sometimes it plays into your favor, but the beauty of it is of the 15 minutes here, so that's the reason maybe I'm thinking maybe myself to move completely away from the 5-minute here. But on the other hand side, I'm saying, okay, you know what? You only will use the 5-minute here, something like that. You have a breakthrough, okay, that one you sit in the 15-minute itself, you don't need to go into the 5-minute here. But you have a breakthrough here, okay, you say, okay, it will get here, maybe I'll look which pattern I can get in the 5-minute here, so I will try to trade that in the 5-minute here. Or if I see something is going all the way down here, I'm trying to say, hey, can I find in the 5-minute? Those the only reason. If someone asks me, hey, I would like to use the 15-minute as it is for you, what would be the only reason to switch to the 5-minute? There are only two reasons here. Maybe to see, hey, after a breakthrough of a certain price level here that we had here, you see it try, a strong resistance turns into a strong actually support here, and after that it tried. After 1 hour it was able to break through. Even I would put that one here more than 1 hour because that one broke through, but not to the shadow that we had here. After that it came back here, so that would be only reason for me to switch to the 5 minutes here, would be only those two. After the breakthrough here, when it gets here, to say, hey, what's happening here? Can I get good an entry point here? Oh, and if I have something like this goes all the way down, to look here into the 5 minutes. In the 5 minutes, hopefully it's doing some pullback here, so I can catch the pullback here. So to go all the way down with that one here, that would be the only reason for me to look into the 5 minutes. Other things would not matter here. For example, something like that, that would not matter. You're looking at now in the 5-minute, but here it was nothing for me. The only reason maybe to get here, that would be the reason for me to go to the 5-minute, but that one I would just enter it with the 15-minute itself. Otherwise you will burn yourself. Now you're seeing that, but you will see a lot of more pattern that you think you can trust them, but you cannot actually. So stay to the 15 minutes. Have a good one, Oliver. So what did happen here? We had a breakthrough here. After the breakthrough, do not catch the breakthrough as always preaching here. Try to catch it in the retesting here. And where was the retest here? It happens here. You see? Can I work with that? No, the candle is too big and it's not giving me anything here. What do I see here? I see, hey, it took couple candles to close nearby the opening here. But the problem that I have here is in the wrong context here. The reason is I broke through that here. I'm looking maybe for a reason actually. I'm looking for a reason in the 5-minute to go short with that one. I would have loved, for example, after the red candle here, the same logic that I see here in the opposite direction, to see smaller candle are following here. Maybe I get him couple candles like that one here, the smaller one to close nearby here. That would be, hey, that's the retest from here. I can go all the way down here. But something like that, no, I cannot work with that. Maybe the only reason would have been, yes, that's a false breakout. It will go here to come here. It's giving me some maybe something like the 3 candle pattern here. From here I catch it and I will go all the way up here. That could have been something that I'm looking to. But after that, that one happens actually. There was some news out there, so the market dropped here. But what do we see here, guys? What do you see, guys, here? When it started something like this, what do you see here? What do you guys see here? Actually, in the wrong context, bro. You're right, actually. I see the 3 candle pattern here. You're right to say, hey, I see the 3 candle pattern here. I see, hey, it's going all the way down. But look here. If I look at the 15-minute to my left side here, it is red. It is red, bro. And it is really dangerous in the 5-minute to think, hey, I will catch the returning pattern. And that's the thing they say, don't trade against the trend, be with the trend. When I go, if I see something is going all the way down or all the way up, when I go into the 5 minutes, I'm not trying to catch the returning point. I know it will do some pullback there. I'm rather trying to catch actually the exhaustion of the pullback to go all the way or to continue the trend itself. That could be to the upside or downside here. And if we look here, it's going to be to the downside. But what do you see here? What pattern is apparently happening here? What do you think? Not the three candle pattern. Yes, you have the three candle pattern here, but in the wrong context. I was hoping maybe to get something like that. It's coming all the way down. It's coming up here. Now it's giving me the three candle pattern here. I can take it and go all the way down here. That would be the reason for me to say. One of the basic rules is never look for a reversal until at least, yeah. What do you see here? Which pattern do we have here? Let me zoom in. Maybe zoom in. Okay, I make it easier for you. Which pattern do you see here? Oh, please do not tell me three candle in a row so it's wanna go up. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about that one too. Not when you're in a trend here, because you don't know. I'm more looking for the pullback. Again, I'd like to go down. I would like to continue the way down. I could not catch it from the from an upper position actually. So in the middle, I'm trying to catch some slice for me here. What we saw when we have a giant candle, and after that, what could happen? What is the pattern? You know that actually. Took three candles to pull back. Exactly. I'm saying, hey, after that, that was the one that I catch here. I say, you know what? I'm seeing here and I don't know what's happening, and I did something. It was maybe someone would say risk, and I say, you know what? I will put my limit order here. I'd like more actually to see more that the candle is closing nearby here, and I was hoping the next one. But if you look here, and I was afraid maybe something like that would happen, and it did happen. But you could also catch that one here. Actually, after seeing that one, I anticipated it would go nearby here, so I put a limit order here. Again, I would have loved that the next candle close actually nearby here, not something like that, but I was anticipating something like that would happen. I put my order there, and my was I think here somewhere I put it, and I stopped. Okay, I wait for the first candle in the 15-minute close below the one here, below the wick that I have here. Okay, and I got out. Was it? I think with that one I got out. Maybe you're asking the reason, since we're not in the New York session itself, I was not sure I can do that, because the wick that you see here, yes, the wick that you see here, the wick here is this wick here. I was even thinking about maybe to do that in the 5 minute, the first 5 minute that close below the wicks of the 15 minutes. Since we are not in the New York session here, that was at 11 a.m. German time. That means that's gonna be 5 a.m. Eastern time. So that was the London session, the European session here. That was the reason to say for me, should I could come out here? That was the reason I said to myself, you know what? I would love to lose that opportunity. For the first time, I brought my stop loss here. After I see something like that, I usually bring my stop loss here, for example, above the closing price here. Okay, that was the first time, because I thought, if I'm losing that, I don't want to lose that offer. But after the 50 minute here closes here, exactly, I got out here. That was the trade that I took here, and it was 1 to 6 trade, almost 1 to 5 something. Any question here? And something else, let's say someone would say, hey, I missed out because Parsa, I was hoping you were preaching the candle that closes nearby. That one was far away, and I was hoping something is closing nearby, so I have it's maybe easier for me to say, hey, my setup was there. I took a risk here. Let's say you say, hey, Parsa, it did not close here, but what do you see here? That was the pullback, and I see the three candle pattern here. If I see the three candle pattern here, I would say, okay, that closes here, that one is here. I put it somewhere in the middle. So my stop loss come on. My stop loss would be, I don't know, somewhere above that closing price that you could put it actually here. And that one would have been 1 to 3rd trade. I do not like plus 3R trade. I'm more, the bare minimum for me is plus 4R, but that would have been something that would have said, okay, let's go with that actually. That would have been possible to say, yes, I waited here, I had a pullback, I get the 3 candle. I was hoping first to say someone, hey, I saw that one. The next one is coming closing nearby here, but it did not actually. So that was a risky thing that I did here. Risk in the meaning, everything is a risk that we do in life, and especially when it comes to trading, since the market doesn't give any guarantees here. But risky in the meaning that my setup was not 100% there, but I was anticipating that would happen. It is very unlikely here because I saw the wick here, I saw there is something here they need to get at here from here. So, but it would be okay to say, hey, I saw something like that, or maybe, you know what, I don't want to put that much risk. I put it even here. Okay, your R would have been a bit better. So your risk to reward would have been 1 to 4 this time maybe. So 1 to 3, 1 to 4, it's up to you. So, and after that, again, guys, this is the thing that I do not, maybe something that I'm looking for. If you have something like this here, and after that you have some wicks here, that is okay to say if I have a double bottom, and after the double bottom to have something like the 3 candle pattern here. Okay, this is something that I'm working on, for example, that you show. What was it last time? It was here. We had, for example, here something that was the end of the trend, and we had some shadows here in the 50-minute. But if I have something like the shadows here, the one that I have here, okay, the one that I have here is a one shadow, one big shadow, but there we had 2 or 3 shadows, I think. But to say, hey, I see a 3 candle pattern in a double bottom here, and what I like here, the second bottom should be a bit higher actually. That's the thing that I'd like personally to say, okay, that's okay for me. And that's one thing that I say to myself, you have to use the 5-minute in the right context. That's the third thing that I'm trying maybe to add in even. That means that there are 3 reasons to go to the 5 minutes here. The first one is clear. I have a breakthrough here, okay? When it comes to retesting, I'm trying to see, can I see something there in the 5 minutes here, so I catch it from here and go all the way down. That's the first reason. The second reason here, after the first reason, the second reason here, if I have something like this, goes all the way down here, can I have some third of pattern to say, yes, it's coming smaller, smaller candle is coming to the high of the giant candle here, so I can say, hey, nearby here, I can put, for example, my entry point or wait how to close here, or even if it's not closing here, do I have a 3 candle pattern here? Maybe to catch that, what I'm trying to say, to catch the exhaustion of the pullback in the 5 minutes, from there to go with the trend itself, to continue the trend itself. The third reason why I'm trying to adapt the 5 minutes, and that's the only reason to look for it. Let's say you have something like that, for example, and it's coming somewhere and it's going up and it's coming down again. In the 5 minutes you don't see anything, or it is shadowing like the one that you have here, and maybe to ask yourself, maybe I can see something in the 5 minutes, and that would be okay if you say, hey, I have a 3 candle pattern in a double bottom. The context is in double bottom, 3 candle pattern in the second bottom here, and especially when the bottom is a bit higher, that's going to be perfect for me to say, okay, you know what, I catch that from here. My stop loss will go right below the one here that I have. That's okay for me. And from there, maybe what I'm trying, at least I can set the bare minimum. It's going to be here. The bare minimum it's going to be for me to catch the one here. Okay, that's a 1 to 10 trade. Okay, that's a 10-hour trade here. Or to say, I know here, but look here how strong that one was. You know what? I think it is even possible the one would get here nearby here. It's up to you to say, hey, I had something here. When it came down here, it got stopped. Maybe before going there, it will come here. And you have to be strong here. Maybe this time you got the lucky. It went through that actually. And even those what you're seeing here, this is a 15-minute candle. That doesn't mean all the way up. It's a dancing candle for 15 minutes. It's dancing here up and down, up and down. So you have to make your choice. If I would like to go out here, or nearby maybe the high, nearby here the wick here, that would have been even a 12 or 13 hour or 14-hour trade here. So again, when would you like to use? The only reason, if you like to go by that setup here, definition, whatever you like to call it here, there are only 3 reasons to use the 5 minute here. First one, if I have a breakthrough, it comes to the breakout area. So I'd like to see in the 5 minute here to put maybe an alert here, since you're working or doing other stuff. So you get in trading view some alert even before it reached that the level way below that. For example, you can say, okay, the breakout was here. I would put my alert below the wick here so I can see what is happening here. Maybe to see, hey, I can catch the returning point. So it is retesting there. That would be the first reason. The second reason would be I have, for example, a trend that could be to the downside and upside, and if I have something like that, to see if I catch the exhaustion of the pullback itself actually. So I'm not trying to the exhaustion of the trend, the pullback. So I'd like to be more with the trend. That's the idea. When sometimes people ask, okay, they say be with the trend, don't be against it, but it's going all the way down and the candles are dancing. Maybe I get in here with market, and again the candle is dancing and would go all the way up and it will hit my stop loss, or I would get called margin. How can I be with the trend then? To be safely with the trend, wait for the pullback and try to catch it with the pullback and go all the way down with the after the pullback. That would be the second reason. Let's say you have a trend is ending, okay, or whatever, it could be a trend or it could not be a trend, and after that you think, hey, it's playing here maybe, okay, then when you go to the 5 minute here, the only reason you get in if you see a double bottom, and in the second bottom you see, for example, the 3 candle pattern, the pattern that we would like to see, then you are able to catch a trend, a trade like that one here. Otherwise, stay away from the 5 minute here. If you lost me, the magic lies in the 15 minutes here. Any question here? No one? Okay. Now we are reaching that area again. Now we are reaching that area again, guys. Okay, the market is opening here. We're seeing here, you see, it's getting crazy here in the 5 minute. I cannot see anything. So when that was built here, okay, it was like this. In the 5 minute, there was nothing there. Maybe to say, hey, could that be, maybe count that one here as a double bottom here? Maybe, but there is, you're putting some ideas here. There is nothing there to put. The only thing to say a double bottom, if I had a 3 candle pattern here, maybe. Even if I don't have much room to the left side here, but to say no, that's not. The more that I had at the double bottom should be something like this, okay, not something like this. I don't see anything here. I see only wicks here. Who guarantees me then the next one wouldn't be as a huge wicks here? So I cannot make any decision. But when that one happens, I had that one here. So that was the reason for me to say, hey, I have a 3 candle pattern here in the 15 minute itself. What time was it? That one was by, it started at 4 p.m. That was bit by 4:15 p.m. That means 10:15 a.m. Eastern time actually. And I see, hey, after struggling here, the candle here closes way below all of them here. And then I saw here the 3 candle pattern here. I said, hey, perfect for me here. That's a good thing for me to say. I can use that to my favor here. Okay, but what did happen here is, oh, I forgot that one here. I'm sorry, I forgot. Wait a second, I forgot that one. We will get back here. So we talk about the 3 candle pattern in the double bottom in the 5 minute. Let's say you missed that one here. What do you see, guys, here? What do you see here, guys? I had, again, a giant candle here, or you can count that here as a movement, and after that it went down here. You see, if you count that candle here, it took one. Okay, if you like to count that one, you can count that to 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. But someone could say, hey, wait a second, Parsa. You say it could be closing nearby the opening or the low, but if I look here, actually, I see the one here is closing in the middle of the. But if I look here, so look here, it was resisting to close above that price here, and after that it tried, but it went down. After that it tried, it failed. Then I had third of breakthrough with that one here. That's the reason sometimes I like to take the closing price than the wicks. Yes, the wicks is good if you have a wick something like that one here. Or was it here? There were one here, very clean here. But if you have something like here, which wick would you like to take? So it's more likely to say, hey, I take the closing price because somehow it resisted to close above that. I had a wick, but it resisted. After that, the next wick tried, but it failed, and it closed even way below that. The third one here actually tried, but it could not even reach and close as an indecision candle. And after 45 minutes, or even after 1 hour, when the next candle was closed, I closed actually above the closing price and the wicks here, and I was hoping to see something like that to come nearby here. Yes, sure, but if I see something here, I see, hey, a wick, and after that is trying and it failed again. Where exactly? Here. Okay, someone would say, hey, Parsa, why wouldn't you go long here? The reason is because it's not closing above the resisting closing price of here that I saw here. After that one here, and I saw, hey, that's actually where the breakthrough with that candle happened. So it's easier for me. So let's say you even missed out the 5-minute double bottom here to say, hey, I'm trying to catch that one here. My stop loss, I don't know, to put it somewhere here. And again, take profit. It's up to you to say, hey, I go here, for example, to put it here, because somehow it resisted to close here nearby here. Or you know what, I'm sure it will try to come here again, because that used to be a strong resistance, and it turned to support, then again to a resistance. So it is something strongly is happening here, and again that would have been easy a 10-hour trade, even if you missed out the 5 minutes here. If you missed out something, do not try to, I don't know, to freestyle something here, to find something here. No, wait for the next opportunity here. The next opportunity is waiting maybe 1 hour, half an hour, whatever. So something like that, actually 2 hours later. So wait for it, actually. So let's go back here again. When I saw that one here, so that happened to me. I said yes, in the 5 minute I couldn't see anything here because it was difficult for me to read. There was, yes, here was room to the left, but if I look after that candle here with those, no much room to the left. I have a consolidation there. I cannot do anything. But if I see something, hey, I see, hey, those are, I don't know, after almost 1 hour, or even, I don't know, is it 1 hour? I don't know, even 1 hour, it broke through and closes below all the wicks here. And I see the 3 candle pattern here. Since I had huge wicks here, I said, okay, I have the 3 candle pattern here, and I say the wicks is getting smaller here. I put my position right exactly where the wick was. I say, okay, what can I use? I use even $400 somewhere here was my stop loss. And I was trying, what was I trying? I was trying to catch it here, that one here, because it resisted to close here above. It went down, then I had the breakthrough. It tried to retest it. Actually, it retested with the wick, but it was not a bearish candle, it was a bullish candle. It was the wick of a bullish candle here. That was the reason for me to say, okay, it will probably come all the way here down. But again, I got cooked here, actually. When you start cooking, let him cook. But sometimes happen, you get cooked yourself, and that was okay for me. And I said, okay, I will wait here until I will see something here. So until I see something here, I will wait for it. The next thing that I did here is, do I have paint here? Okay, if I have a downtrend here, sometimes I'm looking for something like this. This is the bearish candle here. That's the wick. Then the bearish candle, it looks almost like a piercing. It's inside the body of it, inside of the belly of the body of the wick. The wick is inside the wick, the body is inside the wick is inside here. From here I can make a decision to go up with depending how big the movement more, how fast it was, how big the candles are, the wicks, whatever, to come in with the closing price, that means market order, or use the with the pullback, that means a limit order here. That could be, or the opposite could be I go all the way up here, so I have the last one is, and the next one is a bearish candle, the body is inside that one here. Again, we're not talking about piercing here. The difference between piercing is this. Piercing is something like this, for example. You see? It's here in the lower part of the body. So that's piercing, or the other way around here. That's again the red candle here, and I have something like this. And that's going to be my bullish candle. That's piercing. It's exactly at the corner of the body. But something like that is in the belly of the body. You get my point, you guys? You get the difference between that, the piercing, and the one that I'm talking here? Is it clear? Can I get a thumb up or thumb down so that I can know I can explain more, less? Hadi is okay. If anyone does not understand that, please thumb down. So again, I'm not talking about that one here. I'm not talking about that one here, okay? I'm talking about that one here, that one here. And if we look here, I saw, hey, something like that. Piercing is that one here, that you see here. Look here. See, that one is piercing. So I'm not talking about that one here. I'm talking about that one here, actually. It's actually bigger. Sometimes the opening price, it's a bit above. It is difficult to have the opening price higher than the closing price here, but what I like to see that the closing price get near, but that was almost the same. And when that happened actually here, okay, I saw, hey, I'm getting that, and with that I'm also getting the 3, and I had already a 3 candle pattern in the 5 minute here. So what I would do here, if I have something like that, at least in the middle of the body here. So at least, why? Because the candles are not small here. We have bigger candles here. If you look here, the candles are big here. I have giant wicks here. If I have something like that, again, we came back here. Here we use also limit order because we had giant candles here and we had big wicks here. But here, I had smaller candles, smaller wicks, and I had the liquidity sweep of the liquidity sweep itself. So in the 2 candle pattern here, I use the closing price. So see, I have smaller candle here. But if you look here, and there is nothing 100% if your order will not get filled because only for a couple cents, except that actually try not to run behind the candle. Believe me, most of the time you will burn yourself. Maybe one time you get lucky, 9 of 10 times you will burn yourself, and even I would say 10 of 10 actually. So if I see something like that, usually I would say, yeah, I do that the middle in the body. It depends always. 3/4 of the body or 1/4 of the body from here. But if I look here, I see, hey, I had actually sort of resistance here. And with the wick, I put it a bit actually above that. I used, in that case, I would use maybe 3/4 of the body. But it would be okay to use the half too. Have a good one, Saber. So I use my stop loss here, and in this time I'm pretty sure it will break through that. Maybe this time the bare minimum is again here, but this time I'm trying to say, hey, I had something here too actually. You see, I had something here too. That would be the bare minimum for the bare minimum would be here. But if you're willing more to risk, you can say, okay, this time I will come here. Okay, I will try to come here. And again, that would have been again a 1 to 10 trade here. That was from yesterday actually. So Any question here? No one? Then we will come for today. Today was a really good day. I did really good one. And we will talk about add in actually. Add in. If I look here, I had sort of, again, we had a sort of price level here. After it broke, it didn't show any signs of it. It could happen the next day. Maybe there was some news here, some catalyst, whatever. So here, when the next day, that means it was Asian session. For me, it was the next day actually in Germany. If I look here, what I saw here is this. In the 5 minute, I don't see anything here. But in the my apologies. In the 15 minutes, I don't see anything here. But if I go to the 5 minutes here, maybe since I'm nearby here, I want to see what is happening here. It's coming here to here. What is going to happen here? Because after it broke through, I couldn't see a retest. Is it maybe happening on the next day here? There was some catalyst here, some news here. It got crazy here, so I couldn't do anything, and it's end of the market. I would not encourage anyone to do anything here. So, and by the way, the candle that I'm talking about is that one here. Not in that matter, but try to imagine the one that we got here. If you have a clean way up or whatever, and you see something like this here, this is what I'm talking about. That is inside the body. The wick is inside the wick. The wick is inside the wick, and the body is inside the body. It's almost in the middle, you can call it actually. And here in the, I don't see anything. But what do we see here, guys? Here. What do we see here, guys? Here. By the way, that's the 5 minute here. What do we see here? What kind of pattern will you see here? Any idea? No one? Usually, sometimes we have the giant candle. It takes couple smaller candle to come by near the high, near the low, could be opening week, whatever, to close it. From there, you know it will turn around. Sometimes you have the opposite as well. Actually, you have smaller candle here but it took one giant candle to come here and close nearby here. It would be okay to say, hey, I will go from here long actually. Okay, it's okay to say I go here long because everything is there. But since I saw, hey, I got some sort of resistance here, I said, okay, wait one more candle here to myself. One more candle. Oh, I'm sorry. The one more candle that I waited was that, and that was okay for me. I see the rejection here. What I did here, I put a limit order here because I know there is not much difference, but I knew since I had a resistance that with some pullback again here. Put my stop loss here below, I think. And for the target, I zoomed out. And I was like, the bare minimum it's gonna be to be here. Okay, the bare minimum would be here. And I said, okay, you know what? I'd like to have my first trade to make good money here. What I did here, I zoomed out here. I said, okay, it was somewhere here. I put it, the last closing price that I had here was the one here. I put it exactly on the hammer here. So that was the first trade for me. That was 1 to 5. Because I knew somehow, I doubted it would go the first time it would go through that. No, I don't see that. I was like, I don't think so. So I think, and it's also a psychological thing. When I make money and the other one would hit my stop loss, could be $300, $400, or it could be the stop loss that I was in positive. So that I was a 13R in positive. The trend was in my favor, and I brought my stop loss to a small loss, and now it will hit my stop loss. That's okay. The first trade I made my money from a psychological point. That's okay for me now. So what happens next here, guys? I was waiting here. Yes, someone could say, hey, could that be a 3 candle pattern? But look here, there is natural room to the downside here. So what I was hoping, and even that one that I saw here, to say someone, hey, could that be maybe something that is going, hey, we'll go all the way up? No, it's not clean enough. I wanted to see something clean actually. So the first clean thing that I saw here was it. Wait a second. The first clean thing that I saw here was that one here. I saw, hey, I had sort of resistance. It could not break through that price level here, and it came down and closed exactly there, nearby here. What I did was, okay, I'm sure I put a limit order there, okay, and this time I was sure it will go all the way up to the next one here. My first stop loss, I think, was below the closing price here. Okay, by the way, I get like next time I should maybe put a bit more actually, because I had enough. That was only $26, so my max is for $40. That doesn't mean I always have to go $40, but I could maybe say by next time, you know what, go actually below the opening price at least here. So that could be something maybe. So what did happen here? The trade started to go into my favor. So that was the goal here to go for 3K here. It went to my favor here. When I saw that, I said, okay, you know what? I will bring that to a small loss here. I brought us here to a small loss, I think here. What was it, I think? After seeing that one here, please, no one think, okay, that shows me exhaustion here. I will start a short position here. No, look, you have lots of resistance here. It resisted here, it resisted here. You don't know what's happening here. And we do not like to trade into the range. And maybe someone is like, hey, but you traded. No, I was not, because I was thinking like that. I said, okay, my bottom was here. Then it became here. Now it's becoming here. I was anticipating, because I said it resisted to close below that one here. So it showed me it's like to go up. So I was maybe thinking, hey, you know what? It's not a clean one, but here, and maybe it will go, so something like that will go here. It did at the end, but not at that time where I was thinking about it. So please do not come onto the idea to open any long position here. So the one here turned around and kicked me out with a small loss, but that was okay for me, because I made my money with the first trade, 1,500 something. I lost $20-30 of it. That's okay for me. Wait for the next one. And then I was watching here, and I was like, in the 5 minute, I don't care about the 5 minute PB, because I don't have much thing in the 5 minutes to say. When that one hit my stop loss here, I was, hey, wait a second here. Wait a second here. What do we see here? What do we see here? What do we see here, guys? I see a giant candle here, okay? And after that, it took 1, 2, 3 candles to come close nearby here. But I waited for one candle. It would have been okay to say I go long here, okay? But please, at least go $40 with your stop loss here. Again, I had a giant candle, and it took couple one. But the thing that I have here, if we look at that candle here, the second candle when it comes down here, the second candle here, that one is almost as big as the giant candle that I'm talking about. It's getting slowly nearby the low of that candle. So if one of the candle is a big one, I mean big in the meaning it is almost as big as the giant candle itself, what we do patiently? What we do patiently? How many candles we wait then? Come on, you know that. Two candles, exactly. Hadi, Hamza, you got it both right. So two candles. I saw that one, and after seeing that one, say, hey, it went all the way to 1, 2, and 3 comes in nearby. Wait a second, that one is almost as big. That one, it's okay to say, hey, maybe it will not. The next one will go up. And so, but it's okay to say, hey, I will go long with that one here with the closing price. Actually, maybe we turn around, but at least take your stop loss below actually the level that you had. Go for the $40 here. The only reason I can understand that, you say, yes, I know that one is almost as big as that one, but the next one that happens is closing nearby here, and maybe it will turn from here. Yes, it could be possible, but again, if you do that, go with full $40 here actually. So, but what I did, I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait because I see lots of things happens here, and then I got in here. Actually, I got even a better entry point. My stop loss was actually, yeah, it was here. I took that week here, I remember, and then I said, you know what? First my stop, my take profit was here. First, my take profit was here. Okay. Then I changed that, and I'm gonna tell you why I did that. And I was like, and after that one happens here, do you see that here? We're talking about repeatable pattern here. Okay. After seeing that one, you say, oh, something is coming closing nearby here. Okay. Okay. It's sometimes the opening and sometimes the wick here. What do we see here, guys? We see here, what we see here, guys, again, is the same pattern. It's okay to open your mic and to speak. Yeah? No one will bite your nose off. Come on, you know that. We see again, compared to the others, a bigger candle, smaller getting closing nearby here. If let's put a rectangle on that candle here. Okay, that's the candle here. And if I look here, yes, I know it's a giant candle, almost as big as that one. That's the last one, but I see here it closes nearby the low of the candle, nearby the opening, closing, or low if you have a wick, whatever. And that was again okay for me to say. By that time, I have already brought my stop loss here below the wick here. What I did here, I opened again a new buy. What did I say? You know what? What did I do with that one here? I said, you know what? With the second one, I will go here, okay, to make some money here. But with the other one, could it be maybe here? And I zoomed out a bit. And I saw, hey, wait a second. If I look exactly close here, okay, is there here something happening? Yes, I saw here it was happening. I had a false breakthrough, but it retested, and then it went through actually. But then I look a bit above that, and I thought, hey, wait a second. Here, it resisted to go break. That one already happened. It was resisting, went through, and I had the retest, and then it went through, and then after that, I got a retest. That could have been also a good target. But I saw, hey, what's happening here? It resisted, and went through, and then came here back. The retesting of here, that for that one would have been maybe a false breakout. And after that, what did happen here? It resisted, and then broke through, and that one tried to catch that one here, did not. So that was the reason for me to say, you know what, I will put it nearby the closing of that one here. Okay? It is the zone here. It is unlikely to get here, but that one here, I'm more sure I will get here. So the first one I got there, the second one, the one here that I get in, my stop loss was here below the wick of that one here, and my target was here. And after, and look here, that's what I'm talking. Maybe When you are here in positive, already 1200, do not bring your stop loss to break even, guys. Do not bring your stop loss. Instead, bring it to a small loss here, because that week would have taken you out here. They know that actually. What I did, I said, you know what, I will bring the stop loss here. I will bring it, okay, it's a bit more than usual, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60. That one is more than 100, but that's okay for me. And what did happen next, after I saw that one here, so here, come see it, I saw that candle here, and I went again long here too. After that happened, I brought my stop loss here nearby, actually below the where I entered. When I entered here, I said, you know what, I will have my stop loss here, and my take profit was actually the same here. Okay, the first one, 1500. Okay, I mean the first trade that I took here, 1500 something. That's something. I got stopped loss with $20-$30, went away, so I'm 1500 in positive here. So that's what I'm talking about, adding in. That's the way that I add in, not in the 1 minute something. I don't like that. I like to do that here in the 15 minute. I'm safe here. I'm safe here, guys. They say you have to leave your comfort zone, but if I can live inside it very comfortably, why should I leave my comfort zone here if it brings me? The first trade, 1500. Then 1500 something. Then I got stopped up with $20 actually. So that's something. When they went, I'm still 1500 in positive. The one that I got here, 2K. So I'm 2500 in positive today. Not every day is like this, but today was a good one. The one here, 2500. I'm sorry, 3500. 2K, 1500. $300, $500, and with that one here, 6K, 300, 500, 200, 500, 6K I got here, and the one here that hit my target here, almost 5K. So I made almost $11,000 today. Not every day, but I'm focusing only on the 15 minutes here. On other days, I'm making 2K, 3K, 4K. That's okay for me. But that was the day I thought, okay, let's try out that add-in, what Avi is talking about. But the thing that I do not, and again, Avi, I don't know if you're here or you're just logged in here. I don't mean it, don't get that in the wrong way. But the way that I don't like the add-in in the 1 minute was Avi is doing, because most of the time you get stopped out. 95% you get stopped, but one time you get the 40, 50, 100 or that's great actually. But from a psychological point, that will do something to me to see, hey, today I got stopped out, tomorrow I get stopped out, but that one I can make money, so why not? If I can make money with that one here, why not actually? And look here, it got, oh, a good friend of mine, he wanted to get in, and he was, hey, I want to get in, and after I saw that one here got rejected, and I told him just put above here the wick, that one here, and he put it here. He entered the position here, and I told him put your stop loss right below the wick here that we have, $300, and his target was also nearby my one here, and he made also 3K actually. But that's the beauty, what I like about the agent session here. Maybe the first trade, if I make my money, the second trade I would let it run actually. It did not happen actually. I got stopped out as you saw here, but I got in here, it turned around, stopped me out, but again I got in again. And that's the beauty of the 15 minutes. And I think today I not even looked for a yes, I looked only for the 55 minutes here actually. The one that I saw here actually, I told you the giant can, I saw that action, that was reason enough for me to go long here. That was the only thing actually. But that's the beauty of the 15 minute here. And even let's say the first one you got in here, okay, the first one that you got in here actually, it would turn around, but would take you up with $20 only, $30, or it would hit even your stop loss with 300. Stay calm, stay calm. Wait for the next opportunity here. Look at the candles here. Look at the bigger picture here. And if you look for the target, do not go just by those levels. Even if I wouldn't have those, it would be clear for me to say, okay, I saw sort of resistance here. The next one I see here, but truth to be told, I see something is happening here. If I zoom in, I see, hey, something is happening here actually. It would be a good idea to put here maybe my stop loss actually. But again, since I saw, okay, that one got retested, went through, but that one here, that not got, I had a false breakout, got retested, then I had a breakthrough, but the wick here never reached that price level here, and that was the reason to put it nearby actually here, the wick here. And I'm sure it will probably, I don't know today, but maybe reach even that high here. But I was trying to stay realistic here. What I should, why should losing 5K if I think, hey, I can make 7K, 5K is good enough. Take it, take the money out. So that was for today. Anyone, any question here? No one? Then thank you for your time. Wish you a nice day. Happy trading. Don't overtrade here. You're welcome, Hadi. And see you hopefully by tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.